It's a tragedy that Mitch McConnell is against free speech. He's advocating against it, and he's seen better days. I'm John Mike Keene, and this is Mitch, the turtle, cocaine turtle, McConnell.
Know the answer. I think the demonization of Ukraine began by Tucker Carlson.
Anytime a politician is standing up and making a comment on a specific news outlet like Tucker Carlson, that should bring you trouble. Tucker Carlson is a guy who got fired from Fox News and went off and independently made his opinion known about Ukraine. I don't care what people think about Ukraine. You can be for it. You can be against it. Whatever you think of Ukraine, that's rolling around in your head. But the idea that Mitch McConnell is troubled by Tucker Carlson turning on his efforts in a war, W-A-R, bodies falling war, that should be Tucker's right, and Mitch McConnell should be celebrating it.
Who, in my opinion, ended up where he should have been all along, which is interviewing Vladimir Putin.
And now he's upset that Tucker went and talked to the enemy, Putin. I have no problem with that. I think it's fine that he did his job. But Mitch McConnell's doing like a sideways insult on it, going like, he belongs over there being pro-Putin. Again, I do not care what your opinion is, if you're for him or against him. That's not what this is about. This is about, should Tucker, a citizen journalist, have the ability to go and talk to Putin? Should he be railed on by Mitch McConnell? Tucker Carlson does not have the power to influence people in that way. He can present his opinion and then people make up their own minds. And that's what Mitch McConnell seems troubled by.
And so he had an enormous audience, which convinced a lot of rank and file Republicans that maybe this was a mistake.
Why is it magic that Tucker Carlson could convince all these Republicans that the war in Ukraine, that supporting them was a mistake? Is that because Tucker is a manipulative magic man for having a huge audience? Or is it because he communicated some truth that turned some hearts and minds away? Mitch, maybe you should have a more effective people who can articulate what they're doing in Ukraine, defending itself from an invasion from Russia. I mean, go out and say that, because America did not do enough of its job communicating to the American people why we're funding this war.
I think the former president had sort of mixed views on it.
And now he's going after Trump for having mixed views on it. By the way, Trump, to my knowledge, as I watched him, his main comment, and he's met with Zelensky of Ukraine this week, his main comment on it was that there were too many people dying on both sides. It was a general, basic, kind of hippie, anti-war statement that I think makes a lot of sense. Why are we involved in this? But Mitch McConnell's going after Trump here. He's careful not to go after him too hard.
We all felt that border was a complete disaster, myself included.
Good. Boy, that was hard to come up with, Mitch, that our border was a complete disaster, but okay.
And Chad, you remember covering the phases we went through. First, there was an effort to make law.
Yeah, well, you've been trying to make law for about 8,000 years now, Mitch. How's that working on our southern border? Your law strategy did not work.
Which requires you to deal with Democrats. And then a number of our members thought it wasn't good enough.
Now it sounds like he's impugning the character of the members who didn't think it was good enough, that their laws, because they're watching a border still with people pouring over it. So yeah, the law wasn't good enough, and those members were right. He's talking about Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
And then our nominee for president didn't seem to want us to do anything at all.
He's talking about Trump's flourish of, I hope they don't fix the border at all so that he has an easier time winning. Which, by the way, is only acknowledging that the Republicans were so bad at it that we have to get the presidency and win. Trump has to win before we're going to finish that wall and do something about the border. Trump did not mean do nothing about the border. And I can't believe Mitch is that dumb or obtuse. He's just repeating a Democrat talking point there. And that shows, again, part of his both cognitive decline and Mitch McConnell's moral decline.
Well, that took months to work our way through it. So
the good thing, this guy is part of the past, and Trump is the future on how we're going to deal with the border, and Tucker Carlson's the future as far as social media and how we get our information. I'm John Mike Keene.